Hi friends, welcome to the study of the natural vegetation in an area. Now to understand the topic of natural vegetation, first understand what you mean by a natural vegetation. Natural vegetation of an area or what qualifies as a natural vegetation. So natural vegetation of an area means a plant community. It means a plant community which is allowed which is allowed to grow which is allowed to grow undisturbed undisturbed in an area for long period of time, right? so that so that it adjusts it gets adjusted to soil and climate of an area. It is adjusted to the soil and climate of an area. That means if I am bringing a species from outside and planting it in an area, it does not classify as a natural vegetation. The natural vegetation means the plant has to grow naturally. For the plant to grow naturally, it has to acclimatize, it has to get adjusted to what the climate, moisture, and to the soil in an area. And such an area is known as a natural vegetation. For example, sandalwood is a natural vegetation of Karnataka. But if I take sandalwood seeds or sandalwood plants and have a big plantation in the Himalayas, even though there may be a large number of trees in the Himalayas of the sandalwood, it won't qualify as a natural vegetation because sandalwood naturally was growing in the Karnataka region. For my commercial gains, I have taken it to the Himalaya and planted it. So same applies to the natural vegetation of an other area. Now good thing about natural vegetation is you will be able to relate it with the rainfall pattern in India. And also that natural vegetation is the important topic for the preliminary examination in particular, because with the increasing importance of environment ecology, biodiversity, the questions are coming on the natural vegetation. You will generally find one or two questions on the natural vegetation, and the natural vegetation questions are very simple to answer. And because they are very simple to answer, one basic law is be strong in your stronger area. That means do not commit mistakes, whatever these mistakes are, because of lack of revision, because of wrong marking or silly mistakes, do not commit them in the examination day. And therefore, again I am stressing, solving more the number of MCQs will help you. Solving past year questions will help you to judge the kind of questions it are asked in the examination. Coming to the natural vegetation. Coming to the natural vegetation, I'm sorry for the map of India, it has just shifted this way. But anyways, what we have studied in the rainfall pattern of India, we have studied that this again, which line I gave you? I gave you one this line, and the other line I gave you was this. This is the region of India which receives more than 100 centimeters of average annual rainfall. This entire region receives more than average annual rainfall. The second line is this line which receives more than 100 centimeters of average annual rainfall. In this line itself, we had drawn one smaller line, that the region which receives more than 200 centimeters of rainfall, the region which receives more than 200 centimeters of rainfall. Receives more than 200 centimeters of average annual rainfall. After that, we had the other line the region which receives less than 50 centimeters of rainfall, region which receives less than 50 centimeters of rainfall. Now, based on this, I am rubbing this. We can say the regions which receive very heavy rainfall, more than 200 centimeters of the rainfall, will have, because India is in the tropical region, that is, India is not a cold country. India is a subtropical country, so there is a high supply of heat, and in the areas which have more than 200 centimeters of rainfall, this is the region of evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. Evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. This is also a region of evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. Again, now the remaining part with this, that is 100 centimeters to 50 centimeters rainfall, will be the region of deciduous forest in India. This will be the region of deciduous forest in India. So the region of deciduous forest. Now it will depend on the amount of rainfall, whether the forest is moist deciduous, that is in the areas of more rainfall, or whether it is a dry deciduous kind of a forest. Now this region will be the region of thorny forest. Will be the region of tropical thorn forest. Why? Because of the less amount of rainfall. On other hand, in the delta regions of India, in the delta region where there is large amount of water in the form of big rivers, distributaries, etc. यहाँ पे, because of the water logging region in the deltas, only in the delta regions there is generally an littoral and swamp forest. Swamp means featured. You find that it is an extremely marshy area where only some specific species can survive, because the soil is always waterlogged and not all the plants or the roots can survive in the waterlogged, and therefore in this region we have littoral and swamp forest. Littoral and swamp forest. Now on other hand, the Himalayan region, it depends on their location, what kind of the forest will it be. It depends on the height of the Himalayas. It depends on the height of the mountain, because each and every mountain in the world, though it is located on the equator, or though it is located in the subtropical areas, it will have variety of vegetation from base to the top. If it is a very high mountain, there may be an snow cover on the top of a mountain. The snow cover will give rise to the tundra forest. Then on other hand, if it is in the rainy region, it will have subtropical or tropical evergreen forest or tropical forest or the tropical forest. So therefore we classify the mountains on the basis of their height into a different kind of a forest. These are known as mountain forest. These are known as a mountain forest. And in India, the mountain forest will be found in the higher reaches of the Himalayas and also in the higher reaches of the peninsular plateau region. The mountain forest. The mountain forest. So, how many types of forests are there in India? So, it is so easy to remember the types of the natural vegetation in India. It is evergreen and the semi-evergreen forest in the areas of high rainfall. It is tropical deciduous forest in the areas of less rainfall. It is the semi that is it is after that we have tropical thorn forest in India in the terms of natural vegetation. We have littoral and swamp forest, and lastly we have a mountain forest. We have a mountain forest. No doubt the evergreen and the semi-evergreen forest is mostly in the Western Ghat region and the Northeast India region. Northeast India maybe not all the states have the evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. There will be some states, that is especially the eastern Himalayas, that is the Northeast India, will have evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. The Western Himalayas do not have a tropical moist, that is what which evergreen and semi-evergreen. We are talking here of the tropical evergreen and the semi-evergreen forest. Tropical evergreen and the semi-evergreen forest. We are talking here of the tropical deciduous forest. So the Western Himalayas won't have tropical evergreen and the semi-evergreen forest. It will be in the regions of very, very high rainfall only. And on other hand, you see there is which are these islands? These are the islands of Andaman and Nicobar Island group. And you see the location of the Andaman and Nicobar Island group is, these are the small islands inside the sea, generally mountainous in character, or even if not mountainous in character, these are located near the equator. That is, the point here is around 6 degrees north latitude. So the Andaman and Nicobar, because of its location near the equator, it gets very heavy rainfall. We have seen in the previous chapter, of monsoon, that the monsoon arrives on 25th of May, withdraws in the late December. That means May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. It gets 8 months of rainfall. Don't remember 8 months. That means it gets heavy rainfall. Therefore, the Andaman and Nicobar Island group in India, Andaman and Nicobar Island group in India, obviously will have tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. It has tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. It has tropical evergreen and the semi-evergreen forest. In fact, in the less deciduous, in the less rainy region of Andaman and Nicobar, there is also tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. Here, there is also tropical deciduous forest. There is also tropical deciduous forest. And we have done in the mangrove forest, we have done in the mangrove regions of India, that there are mangroves in the natural vegetation. Mangroves are found in the littoral swamp areas. There will be also mangrove vegetation in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Mangroves are also found here. Not only this, we know these are the smaller islands. So in the mountainous islands, they provide the continental shelf. This is the sea. What grows even in this region? Coral reefs also are found in the Andaman and Nicobar Island region. So The coral reefs are also found in the Andaman and Nicobar Island region. Coral reefs are also found in the Andaman and Nicobar Island region. So you see, Andaman and Nicobar Island is the region in India where tropical evergreen, semi-evergreen forest will be found, tropical deciduous forest will be found, mangrove vegetation will be found, and even the coral reefs are found in this region. So you'll find the coral reefs, mangrove vegetation, tropical deciduous forest, as well as tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forest even in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. All the four types of, although this is not a natural vegetation, but this can come as a question that even the mangrove is found here and coral reefs are also found here. So the natural vegetation, that's why I have written it separately. The natural vegetation, here there are three types of natural vegetation, all the three types. That means littoral swamp forest, Maka vegetation is mangrove, deciduous and tropical evergreen forest. Because Andaman and Nicobar, that means Andaman and Nicobar has a high biodiversity in this. Now let us look at the proper map of the vegetation in India. Now if I take a proper look of the natural vegetation in India, now let me rub this map. If we'll have a look at the proper map of the natural vegetation in India, what does this map say? Tropical evergreen forest all along the coast of the Western Ghats. After and in the northeast India. So you can see the northeast India in the state of Assam also you have tropical evergreen forest. Now this is a simplified map. You will have a better map of it. That is, this is a very simplified map. So not the entire Assam or not the entire northeast India. Some pockets will have tropical evergreen, some pockets will have tropical semi-evergreen forest. Then we have the tropical deciduous forest. That is, this region is the tropical deciduous forest where I have unmarked 2. Then we have the mountain forest. The mountain forest, I told you why it is classified separately, mountain forest. Then we have the mangrove forest. Now, can you find in the map the mangrove forest? Here you will find the mangrove forest, which I am marking now with the red color. Mangrove forest, mangrove forest, mangrove forest, which we did as the littoral and swamp forest. And we have the tropical thorn forest in the rain shadow region of the Western Ghats and in the Aravalli regions. So you can even draw, if the natural vegetation comes in the examination, you can draw this simplified map also. Practice drawing a smaller version of India's map. How to practice drawing? Take your atlas. Take your atlas and see here. Then in the later part of the atlas, there are some of the smaller maps. There are some of the smaller maps here. So try drawing on the sheet using first this as an outline. That is what trace out this map and then practice it again and again. When you, obviously the perfection won't come and there is no need for perfection at all. But in the end, when you will finish that, you should be able to draw in the examination a map. You should be able to draw in the examination map in 30 seconds. India ka map in 30 seconds. And see if you can draw a map, a smaller map in the examination, because you have to see a word limit also. You convey you convey a better answer, and therefore the chances of scoring high increases. Okay. So other than this, you can also refer the map which is given in 11th standard NCERT, which I have provided here. The 11th standard NCERT, the natural vegetation map, which is given on the page 58 of 11th NCERT. Page 58 of 11th NCERT. This which NCERT? The same NCERT which I have told you, that is the India Physical Environment NCERT. So you can see here we have tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. It is better given here, evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. area I am marking as 1. Then we have tropical deciduous forest, area I am marking as 2. Then we have the tropical thorn forest, the area I am marking as 3. Then we have the mountain forest, area we are marking as 4, and we have the littoral and swamp forest, the area as I am marking as 5. So this is the distribution of natural vegetation in India. Let us study the natural vegetation, that is the important states in which each of this vegetation is found, if any important species which is found, some some things like what if the tribes in this region worship that forest, or they have created some innovative ideas. We will study that. So we will study the natural vegetation in detail, but do this map very properly: natural vegetation map, annual rainfall map, soil map, then rice and wheat growing areas map. These are the important maps which you should know it properly, whether you are a student of general studies or a student of geography optional. It is not that as a student of general studies you are not supposed to know the map. Okay, so this is all about the natural vegetation in India. We will do in the future, in the next lecture, each and every natural vegetation in detail. But we try to just see how simple the natural vegetation is if we relate it with the rainfall pattern of India. Thank you very much, and we'll meet with in the next lecture.